Welcome to the second match of the evening. We're on Frost, spawning to the bottom right-hand corner in pink, no, in purple, playing for LELC in France as Protoss. It's Miyako. And to the top right-hand corner in teal, playing Zerg for my risk, and Germany, it's Schnubiiii. So, Miyako, going for the pylon on the low ground. Like we said before, if you want to go Nexus first, it might as well be this map. And it seems as if Miyako doesn't really want to waste her time with an early gateway. She just wants to get the money in order to throw down the Nexus. And here the probe's already going, just getting one more mineral. And after that mineral is gathered, the 400 minerals will be complete. And, well, almost. Then she will then be able to just throw down the Nexus. So a little bit off timing here by Miyako, doesn't really matter. And there it goes down. Waiting for the next 150 in order to get then down the gateway. While in the meantime we have the typical hatchery first, into gas, into pool, Zerg bread and butter build. Also Overlord just trying to find the opponent's base. And actually Schnubiiii also being lucky with her Overlord scout, because she'll actually scout it at the first position where the Overlord flies to. Miyako a little bit unlucky here, getting the last scout, although it doesn't really matter that much to her. In that case, she can't of course know that by now, but once she arrives, or once she'll arrive at her opponent's base, she'll realize that she's indeed gone hatch first, and then the whole point of scouting early on has actually been neglected. So, assimilator down, other one as well, probably just a 2-2 gas build. Okay, just see how many probes she'll put into this gas in just a few seconds, I guess. Not making use of it now, but we'll probably later. Okay, Overlord has just seen everything, sees the full wall off, sees that there's a unit being chrono boosted into the gap. Yeah, that's just that chrono boost is actually just because Miyako actually arrived at the fourth base location, or at the fourth spawning location so late, so that she couldn't really know if something was headed her way or not. So it was just a precautious measure to get out that zealot as soon as possible to block that pathway here, so that possible early links would just move in. She just, well, you can argue if she actually had to do it, but it was the safest thing to do. Now starting to produce a few adepts here in order to apply some pressure maybe with some adept shading. We'll see how it's going to work out. Schnubiiii already has a few scouting links out, just has 2 in order to intercept a few of these pesky probes, just actually gets it. And she also has the watchtowers that don't really help her that much, since her opponent spawned in the vertical line. So actually you can always just use the bridge back here in order to get to your opponent, and you can actually even move close towards the edges here, so that the view of the Zanaga tower won't really give away that you're coming. Schnubiiii just taking care a little bit right now with the Overlords, has now just finished the Overlord speed for scouting. I think that's something that Ryza inspired her to do. She didn't really research she didn't really research it, I think, until she saw Ryza doing it every game, and maybe even in pro games as well, because well, pro gamers are still torn whether they want to do it or not, but it helps scouting so much, and it especially helps not losing your Overlords to like stalkers, or sometimes even early phoenixes, so that you will always be able to get it away to get away with it, and get a good scout as well. Like I said, it just makes stuff so much easier, even to fly out of full overcharge. So in the meantime, Miyako just has managed to produce 3 adapts here. A lot of links already around. We'll probably just get the fulls around here. Miyako just tries to move back a little bit. We'll probably just, where are the shades? Okay, there they are. Just shade back into the main base. A lot of are already pretty low on health, but of course that's just what she wants to do. She just wants to deal as much damage as possible. Just tries to get these adepts back into a good position, so that she will be able to just deal a little bit more damage before they finally die. Only 2 workers killed though, while Miyako just lost all the 3 adepts. So it still say that's a good victory already for Schnubiiii here, although she had to produce a lot of links that are now just sitting around not doing much, and she can't really do anything with them. I mean, she can just try to move forward, but there's not much damage she can actually deal here. There's the Mothership Core around, we have 2 pylons that can be overcharged, we also have some adepts in the gap as well, so no way for her to break through with her few links, but of course she just fended it off quite easily, and that's of course always an important part, not losing too much. So Dark Shrine! Oh my god, Miyako, what are you doing? It's a Warp Prism and a Dark Shrine incoming. Miyako just channeling her inner dirty Protoss here, just abusing the build she hates to play against in order to annoy players herself. That's just the Miyako we know. So Warp Prism moving across the map will fly straight through that Overlord. So I think Schnubiiii should realize what's going on and then just send a lot of links across the map over here. Might not have watched the minimap though. So she just barely arrives with 1 link, but now she knows what's up there. The link flood is coming. But of course a few more adepts have already moved in, and this amount of adepts will now still be kind of difficult to deal with, especially if the links don't get the full surround, and even if they do, just look at how fast they are dying. Miyako also using the Warp Prism as sort of a blink substitute here. And now, unfortunately, Schnubiiii has just lost everything she had at producing 11 roaches that will eventually help her to clean this off. Fortunately, she doesn't really have that many drones over here at the moment, but of course these 2 roaches just popping out here will also die instantly. So finally the last few roaches arrive. Still the biggest problem that Miyako can just also fly into the main base and now start warping in DTs, and I think Schnubiiii is totally unprepared for DTs. Yes, she is, and that is probably the game ender here, ladies and gentlemen. 2 DTs walking into the mineral line of the main base, 2 DTs just walking, what am I talking about? Are just walking into the natural mineral line, and now everything gets killed, and maybe Miyako might even get Poison's kill streak record here if Schnubiiii doesn't GG out early enough. I mean, there's just nothing she can do. Miyako not even trying to get the drones, just focusing down the layer over here because she knows she will just easily be able to get it. Finally, I think we've got an Overseer, yeah, but the Overseer, and we just have more warp-ins of Miyako here. The units just won't be able to kill it. Okay, even getting the Archon in here. Well, actually, just good movement here, but Blink is also done. So Miyako can just always blink back a little bit, just dealing a lot more damage there. The Dark Templar is still out. The Overseer, unfortunately, not in position. So the Dark Templar is also dealing more and more damage. Miyako also using the Warp Prism to micro the Stalkers back and forth. GG! And Miyako takes the first game. Frozen Temple is our second map, spawning to the bottom right-hand corner in purple. Playing Protoss, leading 1-0. It's Miyako. And to the top left-hand side in teal, playing Zerk. And building a pool first. It's Schnubiiii. Ooh, this could be interesting. Unfortunately for her, Miyako just scouting straight away with the pylon probe. Probably expecting maybe a cheese on this map. So it seems as if Schnubiiii really wanted to try and go for one cheesy build in this series. At least. So Miyako will just sniff it out right away. So this will just make this... I mean, it's still possible to get something out of it, but an early pool scouted that early or straight away is, especially on that map, unfortunately a little bit problematic, because there's still a possibility... Woo! Miyako, even after seeing what's going on, is still positive that she will be able to get through with the Nexus first here. Quite interesting. Also sends out the probe. Don't really know what she's looking for. Maybe was just guessing that there might be some sort of proxy hatchery here, so she just wants to check out for those. Yeah, it seems like it. It seems as if she just wants to see whether there's some sort of proxy, obviously expecting some sort of proxy hatchery shenanigans here, but it's just links getting across the map, so she just walls off everything. But of course it's going to take quite some time. I mean, she has a full wall off, but she has nothing to defend the wall off. So the Lynx will just be able to nibble away at these buildings for quite some time. I mean, once the gateway is done, it will still take some time in order to get out a unit. And then again, you can just get out a Zealot, and getting it out won't just really stop these Zerglings from attacking. Not only one, one Zealot at a time. And then you still need, I mean, she's also has a Forge out, so she will be able to just throw down a cannon here. That might be able to help out, but it's without having a mothership, without having a cybernetics core, it's still really problematic to just get out an adept or even a mothership core whatsoever. So Schnubiiii just trying to break through with most of her units, just rallying a few more units across the map, but it seems as if she will just barely be able to get out at least one cannon. Zealot is finally out, can't really help out since the buildings are still in the way, but it seems as if the cannons just finish right away. Yeah, the entrance just being too narrow for that. A little bit unfortunate for Schnubiiii here, not really getting all the important structures. Was also kind of difficult to really guess whether you'd be able to break through these cannons and then take them out before they finally morph, because that, or finally warp in, that would have just actually ended the game, I feel. But now, in retrospect, it would have probably been better to just take down the Forge and the Gateway as long as she could, just breaking everything down and then delaying her tech even further, because Miyako would have needed to replace the Gateway before then going into Cybernetics Core. But of course, yeah, Schnubiiii was just committed, was really trying to break through that wall. Didn't realize early enough she wouldn't break through, so now the damage she dealt is actually only one pylon and delayed tech. That's actually the only thing she really gained by doing that. And now she just tries to get back into the game by getting greedy, and that's actually the thing she has to do. It's really the best answer. She needs to hope that Miyako just won't be able to attack her anytime soon, and will not do so, while she herself is just being greedy as hell, trying to get her economy up, because her economy after that attack is just in shambles. 29 workers to 24. The income for Miyako, not, well, now it's better. And she even probably has, yeah, better gas income as well. So Schnubiiii just has nothing going for her. There's no tech, there's no economy, there was no real damage dealt. So, well, actually Miyako just dealt the damage to herself by having to kill off that one cannon. So 150 minerals more lost, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. And now she just moves across the map, probably assuming that her opponent is just getting greedy and not dealing that much damage, will probably not have that many units. She also takes the mothership core with her, so even if she's wrong by guessing that her opponent might have gotten greedy and has produced units instead, she will always just be able to recall out, so no real risk for her to face any damage. Yeah, and that's actually just working out perfectly here for her. She just has 5 zealots in place that will easily take out that 5th base with the help of the mothership core. No units here for Schnubiiii whatsoever, except for these 2 queens, well, maybe 3, and the roach one is done, but there's just not enough resources here, especially gas-wise, in order to produce that many roaches. So like I said before, this base is going to die for certain. And then Schnubiiii is just in a terrible economical situation, only on 2 bases, while the Protoss is on 2 bases as well, and actually has more workers. Ugh, that's just a situation where you never really want to be in. And now Miyako can just always move out, but she just sees that there's only a few links, just transitions out once more, just retreats a little bit, just sees, okay, oh, there's only 2 queens, well, I can take on these. And if she can't, she just moves out. Recalls, has already dealt enough, more than enough damage, and in the meantime is just going into Blink, has some gateways out as well, waits for the gateway, for the warp gate research to finish, and is just miles and miles ahead already in the game. Yeah, that's the problem. If you really go for kind of an all-inny build early on and then you just don't manage to deal a tremendous amount of damage. I mean, most of the time you want to deal game-ending damage, and if it works, you just win. But sometimes you just at least deal some damage, but the opponent just ends up holding off. Wow, I love that. Wow, I love that. That's just the greatest thing that Schnubiiii could have done. Just double expanding with all the minerals she has. That's just a great move here by her. I mean, the chances of getting through with it are astronomically low, but her chances of winning this game after the failed all-in and after losing the third as well are minimal anyways. So why not the hell just take the risk? I mean, it's the clan. It's her risk. So let's just do it. I actually love that move. I mean, it's actually her only chance of eventually getting back into the game if Miyako just lets her, which she probably just won't. I think Miyako is usually such an aggressive player, always being aware of the map, always just wanting to check out what the opponent is doing, just always poking and prodding the front. So I think she will just move out eventually in a few minutes, maybe 1 minute more, and then there will be just nothing. She should just walk over her. But yeah, if she just, as the usual good old Protoss, takes her third base, waits for it to be saturated, waits to get up an army, maybe Schnubiiii might get back into the game with like 4 bases saturated instead of 3. So it could work out, but like I said, there's the Warp Prism. That actually gives Miyako the possibility to move out and reinforce at the front. So yeah, I think that should be the signal for moving out in just a few seconds. And like I said, there's just nothing here, but that was just clear. I mean, if Schnubiiii just had tried to produce enough units on 2 bases in order to defend this push, yeah, she might have been able to taking it down, but then she would still be on 2 bases, while her opponent could have easily taken a third behind it, and then the next push would kill her. So it's just a spiral that would have moved downwards anyways. And now, like we said, she moves in, she doesn't have enough, Miyako is going to kill her at that point. I'm sorry that I can't really hype that up, but that's just the situation as it is. Not the best of force fields, but it's enough in order to keep these roaches far enough away from most of these units, and it doesn't really matter anyway. GG, and Miyako takes the second game as well. Spawning on King Sejong Station to the bottom right hand corner in teal, we have our Zerg player Schnubiiii. And to the top left hand corner in purple, playing Protoss, it's Miyako. Schnubiii's down 0-2. She needs to win 3 games in a row against a very tough opponent, so that's a really difficult task for her to do. Let's see if she can start with at least taking the first map off of her opponent. That will already be a small victory. So, Overlords. A lot of Overlords actually already on the way. Well, actually, no, it's just the first one was sent away. I think that was 1 Overlord too many, right? Yeah, she just accidentally produced 1 more Overlord than she wanted to. A little bit unfortunate, because that already just makes her base late. And now, of course, Miyako just being annoying with her little probe over here. Very unfortunate. With these 100 resources not spent, she could have just actually taken that base already. Now just getting another drone here in order to keep that probe away. Miyako could always just... That's really an unusual blunder there by Miyako, losing her probe like that. But of course, good for Schnubiiii. Now she can finally place down that hatchery here. Goes into the spawning pool, extractor spawning pool right afterwards. So in the meantime, we have the double gateway opening for Miyako, so seems as if she just wants to ramp up the aggression a little more, maybe realizing that her opponent has her difficulties with early harassment. So we'll see how it's going to work out. In the meantime, Cybernetics Core right behind it. Ooh, 1 base play. So far, Schnubiiii will realize that in just a second here. And then we'll have to look how she's going to answer. And the Overlord will just scout that there's no base whatsoever. We'll then just fly in a little bit more, maybe. And then just see that there's double gateway adept play incoming. So she really needs something at home to defend. Actually, against only 2 adepts, just like 1 spine crawler right in the middle, can actually help out tremendously already. But with focus firing, still a lot of drones are going to die. So you also want to have some units in place as well. But yeah, there it is. Schnubiiii just realizing no base has been taken. These might still be the just typical scouting links. No, there they are, 10 links. So she actually knows what's up and what she has to prepare for. Speed is already in the making, so Miyako will now use the shades in order to advance across the map a little bit more quickly. And the warp gate research is also in. Seems as if she wants to stay. Well, there's the probe just going to take the Nexus with the next 400 minerals, but of course a little bit of delayed base here. Schnubiii's vision with the Overlord's also very nice there. It's just now move. Oh, a little bit unfortunate move here. Schnubiii's just unfortunately moving out with all of her links, expecting some sort of proxy play instead of the Adepts just moving in, and now she just has to retreat with all the slow links. So the Adepts will probably be able to just deal a lot of damage here now. Focus firing down the drones. 3 have already died, 4, 5. Miyako will probably not even waste her time trying to take down these Zerglings over here, just trying to shade out once more, taking down another worker. 6 have already died. So a little bit unfortunate there for Schnubiiii. Was just expecting something, but unfortunately the wrong thing. And this again might even get a 7th and an 8th drone. Nicely moving away here. Miyako still focus firing, and we'll get another one. And maybe even another one. So 9 drones have already died, and 9 drones that early in the game. I mean, the good thing is that it's not over yet. Well, the one Adept is still alive, but it's going to get surrounded by these links, and now the Adept harassment should finally end, since now it's become really dangerous for Miyako to actually move across the map with Adepts, because they could just easily get surrounded and killed off. But she's just managed to do what she wanted to do. She just made the Zerg lose a lot of workers here, has now just evened the game economically, even gotten the better end of it, and now has the chance to just saturate her second base as well. While the best thing that Schnubiiii actually could do right now is just expand herself, because from now on, like I said, there won't be that much aggression by Miyako incoming that she can't really scout early enough and then just maybe take out. But yeah, a third base would actually be, I think, the best thing from here on out. But it seems as if Miyako just also wants to go into a full-out aggressive 2-base all-in, with the robotics facility probably producing either just the warp prism for reinforcements, but probably also some immortals. So we're probably going to see a full immortal and Adept all in. And then we'll see. I mean, Schnubiiii has already fought against that against Azelis. It didn't quite work out for her, I think, except no, not even on one map. So let's see how she will manage to deal with it this time around. It's just droning like crazy, which is just the best thing she can do, taking the third base as well. She will probably not be able to saturate it in time, but she will just have the additional lava available, which is also a good thing to have. Unfortunately, just supply blocking herself at a very bad moment in that kind of situation. She also has a Spore Crawler in position, if maybe some Oracle could have flown in. I mean, she never really got the chance to actually scout what was in Miyako's base, so she really had to prepare for a lot of opportunities here. One Overlord in position. We'll see whether Miyako is taking a third base or not, and that should actually just tip her off. It's 6 minutes and there's no third, so some sort of 2-base all-in should be coming right now. And there's the Warp Prism, so it seems as if it's really only gateway pressure. Well, more gateways incoming, but a little bit late, actually. Yeah, so for a full warp gate all in, this is actually a little bit late. Seems as if Miyako just doesn't want to go all in with this build, just wants to deal more damage with heavy harassment. We'll just land over here, or we'll just drop over here and then just unfold the Warp Prism in order to warp in a lot of units, mostly Adepts, because they have the Resonating Glaives up, and it's only Lings and a few Roaches there for Schnubiiii. Actually nicely moved here, just saw immediately where the Warp Prism was going down and was there in order to attack. Has to be careful to follow that Warp Prism here so that the Adepts can't actually really unload in a really difficult situation to engage, because yeah, you have these small little areas here where you could just easily drop down like 4 Adepts and the Lings can't really engage it, and then the Warp-in can follow somewhere closer around it, so you will actually just have a terrible trading situation there. So Warp Prism just moving around. Miyako just tries to avoid the creep, tries to keep her opponent in the dot. Good Overlord spreading here by Schnubiiii, just seeing actually everything and always trying to get close to it. Unfortunately, she doesn't have the Roach speed yet and has forgotten to put it on, I think. So the Roaches are unfortunately a little bit slow. and will not always follow up. Yeah, Miyako just trying to find an angle from where she can actually attack. Now just finally unloads the Adepts close to the 4th base, while in the meantime just getting Blink out. Dark Shrine has not been done yet, and she also has not taken the 3rd base. So actually the only thing that Schnubiiii has to do right now is just defending these little potential pushes. Now even got the Warp Prism with the help of the Spore Crawler and the Queen. So Miyako unfortunately unloading and trying to unfold the Warp Prism right above that Spore Crawler. He lost it completely, and Schnubiiii has actually cleared the base for now. Now she has actually a big Roach army here. Should maybe even think about using it, but like I said before, unfortunately Roach speed is not done. So, or is it? No, it isn't. So moving out, of course, could just be a terrible idea if she just gets caught off guard, or maybe just trapped inside some force fields. Maybe the Gateway army of Miyako could just overwhelm her, especially the Blink Stalkers. But yeah, I mean, Schnubiiii has all the information. She knows that some sort of 2-base timing push is coming. Just taking down the rocks, has some Ravagers in place, but only a few. Well, Ravagers don't really cut it against Blink Stalkers anyways. But that's just a nice move. She actually just kind of sniffed out what her opponent was maybe trying to do. Trying to attack from the low ground, maybe just moving in with a few units, and there they are. I mean, Schnubiiii has a very, very large army here. I don't really think that Miyako should be able to break through, but of course she also has a lot of force feeds available as well. So if she just manages to cut off little chunks of the army, which she actually tries to do here, and just bit by bit takes away from this army here, this might actually work out quite well for her. But yeah, I mean, Schnubiiii still, unfortunately, just the Overlord that got killed just supply blocked her pretty heavily. And there we are, but still, I mean, Miyako cutting them off without really getting too much doesn't really help on its own. But of course it's difficult to throw these 4 fields in a way that she wants to. Then of course you don't forget that Stalkers have the longer range. So Roaches actually attack only with a range of 4, while Stalkers have a range of 6. So if you just trap all of these Roaches behind these force fields, your Stalkers can still fire while the rest of the Roaches just can't. And it seems as if Miyako, with the reinforcements being warped in by the Warp Prism, yeah, the overwhelming Roach force just got cut into pieces bit by bit with precision cuts of these force fields here. So it was almost an operation done by Miyako here, just tremendously well cutting off these Roaches from each other. GG, and Miyako takes the series 3-0.